We're going to have some Tom Rippin.
I'll leave you to
Hold on to it.
You're going to give much of the way around.
So I'm Tom Rippin. I run an organisation that's called On Purpose. I guess once you've maybe done your Masters in Social Enterprise and you've been to the Emerge Lab, or you've been to a couple of Emerge conferences, you've been inspired, but maybe you're not actually an entrepreneur yourself. Maybe you don't want to go and mortgage your house and work for free for a year and take all those risks. Maybe you're actually you've gone and got a job somewhere. But you're nevertheless interested in social enterprise. You're just as interested in doing well and doing good, in solving the world's biggest problems and all the rest of it. And I found, very much talking to lots of people, that for those kind of people, it's even more difficult, I think, to get into social enterprise and break into this whole kind of world of trying to combine social and commercial ways of working than it is for entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurs, almost by definition, by hook or by crook, will find some way of starting up their organisation and making it happen, and they'll either do that or die in trying. But there's a whole kind of category of people out there who are very high caliber, who are really good, who want to work in this space as well. And I actually don't only think that there's that kind of group of people out there, but I actually also think that this kind of space, sector, movement, whatever we want to call it, is really in need of those kind of people. Stephen talked a little bit about the need for scale, or I guess he talked about deal flow. I talk about the kind of need for scale, which I think is related. The fact that not many social enterprises are managing to grow. And I think there's a kind of direct link there with this kind of talent situation that we've identified, that entrepreneurs are, from a personality point of view and so on, not always necessarily the right people to try and grow organisations. And I kind of realise that I'm probably talking to a room full of entrepreneurs here, and this might be a controversial thing to say. But if you look at the commercial world, there are mechanisms in there where entrepreneurs get bought out after a while. They can go and start up the next thing because they've made a lot of money and they can invest that money, and so on and so forth. And you bring in other people. And some of those mechanisms, I believe, in the social enterprise space are not as well developed. So we're trying to help people who are not entrepreneurs get into this kind of space, and at the same time, we hope by so doing, we're actually going to be strengthening the space and precisely kind of helping with that deal flow that Stephen talks about, by making sure that we have people who have the skills, the capabilities, and the personalities, and kind of tenacity and all the rest of it to really build organizations. So I guess that's why we do it. Who we do it for should be obvious, the people on our program and the organizations that we work with. And how we do it is relatively simple. The first thing is we go out and recruit people with, we say typically 2 to 5 years work experience. From any kind of background, we don't really mind what you've done, as long as what you've done is exciting and you've shown that you've achieved really impressive stuff and you have a bunch of great intrinsics. We put them through quite stringent interviews and we hire them onto our program, which is a 1-year full-time program. At this point, the people get called associates, and I brought 2 specimens with me this evening. I'm going to embarrass now by asking them to put their hands up. I'm going to refuse, there you go, who are doing the program this year. And the first thing they do is they do 2 6-month placements in social enterprises, although at this point I use this term quite loosely. We work in organizations who are trying to combine social and commercial ways of working. So that could be a charity that is trying to do something commercial, it could be a corporate that's trying to do something social, or it could be what most of us will probably call the kind of classic social enterprise space in the middle. So the associates learn to work on the job. They see the kind of these organisations from the other side, warts and all, and they get paid for this work by the organisations they're working for. Admittedly, not very much. They get paid £20,000 a year, but the idea is there's hopefully enough to live on. Second thing is we do half-day a week of training, where we're trying to help these associates become what I call bilingual. So they need to be able to speak social and commercial languages fluently and be able to operate in both worlds smoothly and kind of know all the language and how you do things and all the rest of it. The third element is that, like I guess Jan, we have mentors. We pair each associate up with a mentor who they meet with on a fortnightly basis roughly, and they kind of problem solve whatever they're working with in their placement at the time. It's a way of adding more value to the placement. It's a way of personalising the training for the associates, and you can see there's lots of advantages to that. And the fourth element is that they also get some executive coaching over the year on a quarterly basis with executive coaches who are talking to them about their career development, what are you going to do after In Purpose, what kind of person are you, where do you think you want to be going. So that's how we do it, and the idea is that after the program, we will be starting to generate a network of people who will be going out. They might be working in one of the placements, they might get a job in one of the placements they were in, they might go and work elsewhere in the sector, or actually then they might go back into the more traditional corporate, charity, public sector, but they'll always take a social enterprise way of thinking with them. And over time, we hope to be able to kind of help create this talent network that will strengthen this whole movement. Thank you.